Can I pull you for a chat? Who needs romance when you can have a showman? Oh yes, we're talking about Love Island. Show me the money! What he said, TV contracts, lucrative deals, fame on and offline. But what's love got to do with it?
Love Island or Love Money Island? Can it be both? Let's chat.
So I found watching it was kind of like a soap opera or a car crash. So when you just can't you can't look away, you're like mixed. There was game playing, there was drama, there was boys v girls, there was all of the people falling in and out of love with each other or in and out of each other's bed. It was interesting, and I'm like, wow, this is how sort of 21st century, 20-somethings, they move too fast. They're moving.
I really felt educated because remember in our we did a previous video, which is on T&J, and I never watched it. I was like, no, never watched this thing. And I was almost like thinking, no, I'm never going to watch that. But then this guy here, he was telling me about it.
We're getting up there. So we've been together over 20 years. We've been married 19 years this summer. So it was a bit of an experiment thinking, okay, so how do the young'uns do love? We want to see how the young'uns do it and how they move. And it's kind of crazy. It's like most of the people on the show were almost old enough to be like kind dad, and mum and dad is like, oh, Nana, watch me on Love Island and see me in the villa. So it felt weird how in our head we feel like we're like we're like in our 20s, still young in our relationship. Then we look back and think, actually, that's like 20 years ago. Seeing the way that they were arguing over pettiness, jumping too fast, like particularly the couple, Tanya and Shaq, how they got in the sack in bed far too quickly. They far too quickly dropped the L word, I love you. Remember?
Yeah, the love at first sight thing I think was a bit too quick. Hold it. You know what I mean?
What would it?
To love it. I mean, for me personally, I don't even believe in love at first sight. Anyway, I don't believe you could just like, oh yeah, I saw you turn for the first day. Oh, I love you. No. How can you love someone straight away? I don't even know you. How can you love someone you don't know?
Yeah.
Because love is not about how a person looks. It's about the qualities and everything. It's not just what a person says.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. So their love is kind of more...
What are you trying to say?
Yeah, but I think it comes from within because there was more like superficial than anything else, to be honest.
It's a thin, people say it's a thin line between love and hate. I say it's a thin line between love and lust. I think obviously a lot of people, both in the villa and in the outside world, confuse love with lust. Now, I think what complicates it is the fact that you've got so many different motives. There's one of the guys we loved from the beginning is Will. We thought he was such a charming, funny, entertaining guy. And none of the women wanted to know him initially because we watched probably from
the
second week or something. And we were like, oh, poor guy, very lovely. He's sort of the guy that all the girls would have as their friend because he's kind of not on the alpha spectrum. He's quite camp and fun-loving and jumping around and not the sort of cheeky chappy or the rugged alpha. I'm like Tom. So he was left on the shelf until they brought two Australians in, a guy and a girl. The girl called Jessie. G'day. Funnily enough, Will was the only single guy. So she eventually got with him. And initially, people were thinking, oh, is this a bit dodgy that she just obviously watched or how popular he was on the outside. She'd been in the Australian version before, so it was like she's calculating and pouncing on him. But that might have been the initial impression, but the whole time for like a good 6 weeks or whatever, they've been together, they went out together, it looks like they're still together. So against all odds, something real was there. And I think you can't act 24/7, can you?
No, because I think they are still together because I saw them on TikTok and she's visited this farm.
Yeah.
She's holding the sheep. They've been out together. They're going to go on holiday together. So I think maybe it could last, that one.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Hopefully.
Hopefully it lasts.
But it's still a show at the end of the day.
Camera.
And
Action.
a lot of people there's been people that have gotten really big gigs from it. It reminds me of Big Brother, which was the sort of the template of reality TV. People living in a house Obviously, America, there was a show called The Real World that was even in Big Brother, but that was more documentary. Big Brother, like Love Island, is more of a game. People go in it, there's popularity, you know you're being filmed. What happens after the show, if you're one of the fortunate ones, is you get presenting gigs, you can get like sponsorship now. And some of the contestants of Love Island already had profiles on TikTok and social media already. I think that's probably a requirement to go on, is that you've got some kind of fan base before you go in. I'd never heard of, say, Will before, not realizing he's got 1.2 or something million followers on TikTok.
Wow.
So these people aren't just regular Joes. They're already a bit savvy about...
The fact that Jessie was already on the Australian one says that as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Obviously, they wanted her... I don't know, maybe she knew someone is inside, so they have to apply.
Yeah.
They don't have to fill in an application form or anything, so you never know.
Yeah. Well, we know how showbiz works. Like Lana and Ron, we think they're a cute couple, but how long they'll last is debatable. Lana is a makeup artist in TV, and I think her mum is. She works with celebrities, so we know how the business works, because I've worked in media and broadcasting before. So when you know someone, you usually can be a shoe-in to these types of shows. I think she dated the guy from Hollyoaks. So how much of it is just genuine Joe Public, young people wanting to find love, and how much of it is, if you go on this show, it can blow up your fan base, it can land you all sorts of lucrative deals. So to me, that muddies the water, because, you know, falling in love is its own thing, but then getting work and making loads of money is another thing. And can they be the same thing?
I think for me, the winners is Kai and Sanam.
Yay!
Obviously, the winners, Kai and Sanam. I think they're so genuine.
Kanam.
I think that they will last. They've actually said what they'll even spend their money on, which I'm like, wow, they're so young but sensible.
Yeah.
They said that they're going to give some to the mum, Sanam's mum, and go on holiday with each other, and then invest the rest of it to something they want to build together. So it looks like they're going to last. It just seems like they're really all together and level-headed, definitely.
What makes sense to me is that he's a teacher and she's a social worker.
Yeah.
So none of them seem to have aspirations to be on telly or they're massive social media influencers. So I think they genuinely wanted to find love and experiment, but time will tell.
Time will tell. But I think they just...
Would you have done it?